Hey man, hey, Oscar De La Hoya just might be trying to get Ryan Garcia's block knocked off again in his very next fight. Oh, we got to talk about it. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag Boxing TV, man. Get your goof ass in here, hit the bag, hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. You know, I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, my bag hitters. Y'all already know the count. And a big shout out to my guy, Mike Beasy, hitting me up in IG. Just giving me well wishes, man. If you didn't know, I ended up burying my mom's 2 weeks ago, man. And it's been a difficult transition, a difficult new normal, but through the support of a lot of you guys, man, my bag hitters for sure checking on me, man, and you guys interacting with me right here on the channel. It has definitely has gotten me through some dark days, and I truly appreciate y'all. And for sure, Mike Beasy, man, I appreciate you, man. All right, listen, I believe because of who Oscar De La Hoya is mentioning Ryan Garcia fighting next and when he's fighting next, to me, it tells me a lot about their relationship. Now, we know it's been on rocky terms. There's been some litigation and legal shit going on. I'm not so sure of the intricate details, but I do know Ryan Garcia has accused Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy of breaching parts of the contract. There was a lawsuit on behalf of Golden Boy just trying to keep Ryan Garcia in line. Not sure what state that relationship is in right now, but according to Oscar De La Hoya, in the opposition, he wants to line up for Ryan Garcia next, coming off his very first loss and the biggest fight of his life, abandoning him in the ring and at the presser. I felt like going into his next fight, it had to be, and unfortunately for the sport of boxing, you have to have these kind of soft touch fights for fighters to kind of build that confidence up, get their feet back wet, and get them, extremely motivated heading into tougher competition. But this is what Oscar De La Hoya had to say, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that verbatim quote. There's a huge weekend on Super Bowl weekend. We are talking to some people, and I strongly feel that the only fighter who can headline such an event would be Ryan Garcia, and this is from Oscar for sure, on Super Bowl weekend, which would be incredible. It would be amazing. Obviously, it all depends on the opponent. It has to be a for sure world title. It has to be against a huge name. So we will see what plays out. But Ryan and Teofimo Lopez would be a lot of fun. He also goes on to say, you have fighters like Devin Haney. You have fighters like Rolly Romero. It's funny because you also have a fighter like Adrian Broner. Him and Garcia and Broner would be massive. Imagine that press conference. Imagine that fight. Broner is still alive, dog in the business, end quote. And that's what I told you guys in my last Adrian Broner post, man. Say what you want about Adrian Broner, AB, but he's still doing some decent numbers that some of these fighters wish they could do, for sure. That's why they're not reluctant to go ahead and put him on a pay-per-view with a nigga named Bill Hutchinson. But listen, I feel like it's telling me all I really need to know about the relationship between Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia. Because if you're mentioning Teofimo Lopez in his very next fight, bro, that's an extremely tough fight for Ryan Garcia, and one that he could very well lose easily, right? I don't know if he was paying attention to that Teofimo Lopez performance against another lineal champion in a Josh Taylor, but he was superb, right? Say what you want about Teofimo Lopez, but he's a really, 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 really good fighter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will say that he's a great fighter given his accomplishments, beating the lineal champion in a Lomachenko, and now his second lineal champion in a different weight division in a Josh Taylor, right? So that's an extremely risky fight on arguably the biggest weekend on the calendar year, being Super Bowl weekend. That's a lot of exposure that would help. During the weekend, because people are going to be getting together anyway. That's more of a selling point. I do believe people would be interested in adding a boxing event to already a great weekend that's already set up. So, strategically, from a strategic standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. But the opponent, I mean, I just don't, if I'm managing Ryan Garcia right now, I don't want to see him nowhere near somebody like a Teofimo Lopez, a Devin Haney, now Rolly Romero. But I think he's just tossing a name out because I believe he's a champion in recess because of some kind of undisclosed injury right now. But an AB, now I would definitely entertain that. That's a winnable fight for Ryan Garcia to go against the aged, heavy on the defense, not a lot of pop anymore, Adrian Broner. I think that's a really, really big fight, and I hope that they send a contract out there to AB. I still believe, getting the scalp of AB says a lot in the sport. But if his initial thoughts, it's a Teofimo Lopez, and you really want to make that work for Super Bowl weekend, I don't, that's just extremely dangerous. I think you're jumping right back into the deep waters with a fighter that you want to try and milk for as long as you can, or it's just basically saying, shit ain't running right between us right now. I don't give a damn who gets a piece of Ryan Garcia. We're going to put him out there and let the dogs eat, let the dogs do what they do with him because we're over him. Right? Because I would be thinking along the lines of a Ohio Davies. Now a lot of people feel like he's dangerous, but I think that's a winnable fight. Or a Rolly Romero, I would be knocking his door down. That's still a pretty dangerous fight. Rolly has a great punch, but I think it's a winnable fight for Ryan Garcia. I would only be trying to put him in foreseeable winnable fights. Not against the guy who just whooped the lineal champion's ass at 140 and a Teofimo Lopez. Definitely not the guy coming off undisputed and a Devin Haney. But the winnable fights, right? We got to see how that plays out, man. But to me, just appears like Oscar could possibly, I think that situation might has come to a head and has already ended, and we just going to be the last to know about it. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. That's all I got on this one, man. Big T.O. heavy bag. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.